Netflix, listen up. When this man get the knockout, because he going to knock out Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo Alvarez, man. Is he going to get knocked out September 13th?
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Smash the like button. We have 350 people and 90 fucking 5 likes.
Timothy Bradley seems to believe now that Canelo Alvarez is going to get knocked out.
Netflix, listen up. When this man get the knockout, because he going to knock out Canelo Alvarez. When he get the knockout, don't forget Miss Deborah. Get that shimmy dance. Get that dance from Miss Deborah. Get the camera, get the family on camera, yo, so we can document this, because it's going to be one of the greatest performances you've ever witnessed in the sport of boxing by Terence Bud Crawford. Knocking out somebody that's been in the ring with some of the heaviest punchers in the game. Heaviest puncher. Triple G is legendary. Didn't put a dent in Canelo. Now just watch what Crawford does to his behind. Yeah, y'all talking about thudding power from Canelo? What about sharp power and timing like a Manny Pacquiao has? Yeah, y'all don't know nothing about there. It's a huge difference. That sharp power where it sting you for a minute momentarily, and that follow-up shot comes sweeping and knock your behind out. That's Bud Crawford. And you know he can turn it on when he want to turn it on. He can turn it off and he can turn it on. Canelo ain't got that in him. He ain't got that in him. Yeah, he ain't knocked nobody out in 4 years. 4 years, he ain't knocked nobody out. You expect him to go in there and knock out the best fighter in the world, the most skillful fighter in the world, because you think he's small? Hell no. It's not about the size of the dog. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. Don't ever forget that. Anyways, that's my time, and I'm out.
Is Canelo going to get knocked out? Will Terence Crawford be the first person to knock out Canelo Alvarez? Even I'm leaning towards a potential KO, at least somewhat later in the fight, maybe 9th, 10th round. It still kind of seems a little far-fetched simply because Canelo Alvarez is a very durable fighter, really good defense. And we just never seen him knocked out before, right? We never seen Canelo Alvarez in a situation where he was truly hurt, except for maybe years ago when he fought Cotto's brother, but that was a long time ago, right? We haven't seen nothing nowhere near close to that since, right? But Timothy Bradley seems to believe that Crawford's going to knock him out. Crawford's going to box him out. Crawford's going to stop him.
I think you got to lean more towards Canelo because, like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down. And Canelo not even really a 68-pounder. He probably really should be at 60, maybe. And he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So, so be it.
But John Boots Ennis seems to feel a little differently. After John Boots Ennis, as we know, spent some time in camp with Canelo Alvarez, he has a different opinion than someone. I mean, and to be honest, both guys, respectively, trained with both fighters, right? Timothy Bradley trained with Terence Crawford back on his come-up years ago. He the one that kind of discovered Bud Crawford, so to speak, right? And then we have John Boots Ennis, who's a champion in his own right, training with the great Mexican great Canelo Alvarez. So both guys train with both guys, and both guys go have their own opinions on the situation, right? But some people looking at Boots Ennis like, bro, what you want, man? You know what I'm saying? What you want, man? And I mean, he gave the generic response as to why Canelo's going to win the fight. I mean, this is what everybody who's leaning towards Canelo's saying why he's going to win. It's not because Canelo's the more skilled guy or anything like that. It's because he's the bigger guy. So if the weight isn't a factor, then what happens? Is skills go pay the bills? Or is Canelo Alvarez really that much, or is Canelo Alvarez's skill good enough to compete with a skillful fighter like Terence Crawford? A fighter who adapts, a fighter who makes adjustments as the fight goes, a fighter who really technically don't have any style. He kind of gets in there and freestyles and kind of goes off of what you're giving him, or kind of goes off what you're doing in the fight, and then he kind of goes off that rhythm. So, I mean, look, Is Crawford going to stop Canelo, though? The knockout. The knockout. Because I'm still on the fence about the knockout, man. I'm still on the fence about the knockout. And Crawford is a very good finisher, right? Of course, Mijamov was one of the few guys that survived Crawford in the past 8 or 9 years or however long it's been. He's one of the few guys that survived. Will Canelo survive? Because he stopped Errol Spence. He stopped everybody prior to Mijamov, bro. He stopped everybody prior to Mijamov. So Mijamov should really be patting himself on the back, right? But will Canelo Alvarez be able to get through the fight? Because to me, just looking at Canelo, he just don't seem as confident as he has in previous fights. It just don't seem like it, right? It just don't seem like he's that as confident as he is in previous fights. I don't know if he's just been posing this whole time. Mentally, he seems to not really be able to get the drills down. It's a lot of things that's probably going on in his head, but at the end of the day, he gets a payday, a huge one, a significant one, right? So, yeah, man, his efforts won't be for naught, but will Terence Bud Crawford knock him out? Because people like Jerome Boots don't seem to believe that it's possible. Now, is Jerome Boots just saying these things because he's with Team Canelo, right? I mean, that's not honestly. Like I said before, it's really not a good look for Boots. No matter how you slice it. Me personally, I'm not taking it as a big deal, but it is not a good look. It's just really not. You know what I'm saying? And if he were expecting to win over, I guess, the Black American fans, because Jerome Boots isn't necessarily. You know, what did the Adams boxing show say? He said something about American fans, especially Black Americans, should be really gravitating towards Jerome Boots, but they're not. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Stuff like this don't help his case, right? Things like this don't help. Because usually when a fighter phases out, right, a fighter, retires or whatever, or phases out of the game, that fan base, usually they probably disperse or they may go to the next guy or something like that, right? Jerome Boots is supposed to have Errol Spence fans, Crawford fans. He's supposed to have all those guys. But he don't. He don't got none of those dudes, right? And maybe it's from his own fault or not, but for whatever reason, none of you guys seem to be really gravitating towards Boots like that. And and if I'm being honest, stuff like this don't help. Because even if you do win, the Canelo fans, how long they going to be rocking with you? You know what I'm saying? So, Jerome Boots has his own opinion on the fight. Do he truly believe this? I don't know. Bozian seemed to believe something different. Bozian has actually said a while ago that Crawford was going to stop Canelo. He thinks Crawford could stop Canelo Alvarez. I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of experts saying that Crawford's going to stop him. I mean, is he going to stop him, y'all? Y'all know I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I step away at times to say Crawford go stop him because Crawford's just a great finisher. And I think stylistically, if the weight isn't a factor, I think stylistically this is a really bad fight for Canelo. And he go probably end up getting stopped one way or another, whether it's Reynoso standing on the side of the canvas waving that flag, or the referee jumped in the middle and said that's enough, right? Because when we see with Terence Crawford, when he's performing at his best, he ain't missing a punch. That fight with Errol Spence, I don't think a lot of people went and watched that again. A lot of people who may not be in favor of Crawford. I mean, come on, go watch that fight again. Though that was a fight that you wake up for, right? A fight that had a lot behind it. A fight that was 45 years in the making. It was a lot at stake, right? Canelo Alvarez fight is similar. I bet it wasn't as of a long of a build-up. Right? It wasn't built up like the Spence Crawford fight, but it's equally as significant, if not better and bigger. It's going to be on Netflix for everybody to see. But will Canelo Alvarez get knocked out? Timothy Bradley seems to believe so. It's almost like Timothy Bradley every day watches the videos, study the tapes, and he just see things that, that would probably lead him to believe that Crawford will get the stoppage in this fight because this is something that he wasn't saying before. Now, is he just trying to hype up his boy Bud? Maybe. But whatever the case, he seems to believe that the knockout is coming. It's leading me to believe that the knockout could possibly be coming as well. the knockout possibly could be coming as well. Canelo, we know what we saw his last fight. We know what we saw. Is he gonna be prepared for what's to come September 13th? But tell me what you guys think. Will Terence Bud Crawford get the knockout against Canelo Alvarez? What you guys think? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.